All right, welcome in. Welcome back to another episode of Bears Film Room presented by SportsMockery.com. My name is Dave, joined by Ficky. We both cover the Bears for SportsMockery.com, and we have it's a fun show. This is the first time we've ever done this, but a pregame show and a postgame show likely going to be done in the same day. So you guys are going to hear from us right now, and then probably around 11 at night, depending how long this Bears-Packers game is. So we're super pumped to do this. Obviously, the game day vibes are really, really high. But Bears versus Packers Part 2, it's redemption. Fick, before we hop into this, man, how are we feeling on game day? Again, it's weird doing a pod.
It is.
On game day.
It is weird. Just alone Saturday games are interesting. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, yeah, I'll watch it. And normally the college game I watch is like during around like noon or 1. So it was weird waking up today. I was like, oh, shit, the Bears play. And I was like, oh, I got to mentally prepare myself for that. So we got 2 good games. I think it's a game at 5-2. I can't remember who plays that one. But obviously the Bears have that primetime Saturday night slot game. So I'm good. I will say, like, not typically Packers week, you're a little bit nervous going in. Every game you're a little nervous, but Packers week for sure. And for some reason, I feel a little bit more calm about the situation, and we'll dive into maybe why that is when we get into the game preview here. But I'm actually feeling pretty good for a Packers week, I should say. How about you?
Likewise, I wouldn't say I'm feeling good. I'm feeling I just have like normal nerves. I wouldn't say, which is honestly kind of weird. I haven't been nervous most games except for the first Packers game. I was really, really nervous because it's in Lambeau. I didn't know how they were going to do. Micah Parsons was legit. Now you don't have to face him. Very, very curious to see. We're going to get to their injury report here in a minute, Vic. But that will determine really how good I feel going into this game. And I know they're going to probably wait until it's about 100, an hour and a half before kickoff to announce probably Josh Jacobs, the right tackle. Is it Tom?
Yeah, Zach Tom, and then Christian Watson as well.
So, like, I'm like cautiously, walking around the house right now. Like, I'm just like, twiddling my thumbs. The wife, we have, a few things she wants to get done, hang some photos, get ready because we're hosting Christmas twice this year. So I'm probably going to be locked in doing that so I can kind of not think about 7 o'clock. Because I'm super pumped. You win this game, there's so much on the line. Biggest game in 8 years. But I don't even care about that. It's the biggest game of this season because whoever wins this probably wins the North. Like, I know there's things that can change, but the momentum from this one, the Packers, if they win it, Vic, that's 2 in a row. You just swept them. I don't care if we see Chicago in the playoffs. We beat them with Micah. We beat them without it. That's the storyline. That's the confidence they're going to get. And then the Bears beat the Packers. Sure, it's without Micah, but you're also without Rome and Luther and some of the most important people on offense, and you take care of home, you split the season just like you did last year. And then you go into the playoffs possibly as the winners of the division because this game is so important. So there's just so much on the line. But I feel great. Drinking some even coffee as well.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, we'll get into even coffee in a little bit, but it's just a great morning. So pumped for this. But it's like a mix of confidence, nervousness, and I just is one I want, man. This is the one I want.
This is the biggest one. You got to win it at home.
Saturday night, too.
Yeah, and it's prime time, and we'll get into how the Bears can win this game. But I will say this. There is a lot on the line with this game. Now, I know the Bears technically have a pretty favorable percentage probability to get into the playoffs, even with the loss. I think it drops depending on, what data source you're looking at. But a lot of people have it where it's like above 90% if they win for playoff, right? Because you probably win the North. And you had 11 wins, so you're probably in. And if you don't, it drops to 62, which still means you can get in, but that's a big drop. Realistically, though, because there's still 3 games left, and you still have to play Detroit. If whoever loses, right, this game may not make it into the playoffs, right? There is that possibility because of how stacked the NFC West is. Basically, the NFC right now is the NFC North has 3 good teams and the NFC West has 3 good teams. Because you saw the masterclass of a game, Seattle versus the Rams, which is beautiful on Thursday night. What a game. But that's your one, there's 2 teams in that division. And then you also have San Francisco coming up, which we have to play as well. And then also in the NFC North, you obviously have the Packers, you have the Bears, and then the Lions are technically still in it, and we still have to play the Lions as well. So you're absolutely right. There's a lot that lies on this game, not only for the North, but for that 7th seed, because that is not locked in, because you still have the 49ers. You still have the Rams now, who dropped out of first, and you now have the loser of this game. So out of those 3 teams, 49ers, probably Rams will make it, but 49ers, Bears, and Lions and Packers, there's only 3 that's going to make it. So someone's going to be the odd man out. So yeah, just to double down, there is a lot that's riding on this game.
Let's go ahead. I want to share my screen, Fick, if you're cool with it.
Gotcha.
I just want to, I know we talk about the NFC. It is stacked. And I just want to share my screen so we can kind of go over what this looks like before we hop into this game. Because I want to paint the picture. Everyone knows how big this game is. But it's the fact that the Bears, there's just a lot riding onto it. Not just Bears-Packers rivalry, which is, I mean, last year, if you remember when we beat the Packers on Santos game-winning field goal, there was nothing to play for. But that was a big game because it's the Packers, you know. And with that,
to play for. That was our 5th win. Yeah, it wasn't much. Wasn't much to play for at that point.
There was not. Let me go ahead and share this. I'll kind of make it a little bit bigger. I think everyone should be able to see this now. So the NFC, we got Seattle, who just won. They clinched a playoff spot, 12-3. The Bears 10-4, 2nd seed as of right now. The Eagles 9-5. The Bucks 7-7. God, wouldn't it be nice to be in their division? I remember tweeting that, and I got Panthers fans riled up, dude. Oh my gosh, it was crazy.
We love that though.
And then the Rams 11-4. Here's what you're talking about: the San Francisco 49ers 10-4, Green Bay Packers 9-4, Lions 8-6. And so the Lions are the first team out right now,
right?
And then you got the Panthers at 7.
Well, the Panthers won't. So either if the Panthers get in, it's because they won the division, right? So that's the thing. There's only one coming from the NFC South. So it's either going to be the Panthers or the Bucks. The Eagles basically have the NFC East locked down. So that one's already a lock. I know it's not clinched yet, but most likely.
Is it not crazy, Fick, that the Bears play the three possible playoff teams to end the year? They play Green Bay today.
Yep.
Then you got the 49ers.
Yep.
The 10-4 49ers, the 9-4 Green Bay Packers, and then to end it possibly to see if you. This is why this game is so important.
Yes.
Because if you lose today, it likely comes down to this game against Detroit Lions, unless you lose to the 49ers, then you might not even have a shot. You might be asking for some help on top of beating the Lions. So
out of the next 3 games, you have to win one. I think you clinch if you get at least one. If you win today, you're basically locked in. So you're good there.
So momentum is huge.
Yeah. If you lose today, you then have to split against the 49ers because, again, you're playing the people fighting for the same spot. So you would jump the 49ers if you beat them. Or if you lose to them, then the final spot's probably going to be against Detroit. So then you would have to beat them.
Yeah.
So out of these next 3 games, all right, now let's just win today. I'm not thinking too far ahead, but you got to win one. And today would probably be your not easiest, but why wait for those other ones? You have a great opportunity to beat your rivals at home. So go ahead. If you want to be a true playoff team, you got to seal the deal. But yeah, it's not great. It's a brutal last 3.
I want to look at the AFC real quick. Honestly, the top is pretty good too.
Yeah, the Denver locked in. Patriots are basically locked in.
Patriots, Jaguars, Steelers. I don't know, man.
But look at their fighting spots: 9-5, and they really only have. They basically
9-5, and we got 9-4, and then 8-6. It's honestly both conferences are actually better than I thought. I know that I thought the NFC was just way better. It might be though at the top as far as
I think teams. I think the depth of the NFC is probably wider, right? Mm-hmm. Like I think there's more quality teams within that. The AFC, you really have like three powerhouses. Denver, who's playing really good, and then basically it's the Bills and the Patriots, which they split, right? Because the Patriots beat the Bills their first matchup, and then you had the Bills beat the Patriots. But those have kind of been the 3 dominant teams all season. And Bills weren't even dominant the first half of the season. They kind of made a run on the back half. But the Denver has won 11 straight or something like that. And then you had the Patriots who went on a winning streak as well, 8 games or something like that. They started 0-2, I think, like the Bears, or 1-1, and then they won like 9 straight. So,
hey,
yeah, it's interesting.
Love that. I just wanted to take a look at that because sometimes, we don't even see what the conference looks like, So big game. We all know that Bears versus Packers. Saturday night, dude. I cannot get over how it's just the main stage. Like everyone's gonna be watching this. There's not much more to do. Whether you're at a bar, at home,
there's no college football.
Christmas, you're gonna have this game on. So,
oh wait, is there college football? There was a college football game last night. Is there college football?
I have no idea, but I don't even care if I don't
true.
care if there's a national championship. I don't care if the national title game. I'm watching Bears Packers.
That's fair.
It doesn't get much better than this. So
it sure doesn't.
A lot to get to, a lot to break down. Before we do, again, thank you again. We're over 12,000 subs on YouTube. Almost, we're on our way to 13,000. I guess this is what happens when the Bears are good. People want to subscribe. So keep doing that, please. Hit that like button if you're in the chat as well on YouTube. We are going live again. We said it earlier in the show, right after the game today. I don't care if it's 12 o'clock, 1 a.m. We're going live. We're talking however this game plays out. Hopefully the Bears win. And then again, before we hop into the breakdown, I want to shout out Even Coffee. We talk about it every single Saturday, but Even Coffee, one of my favorite partnerships we've ever done in Bears Film Room. It is a Chicago-based company, coffee shop local. On top of what they do, great coffee, but they also serve a great cause. Every purchase, there's a donation that goes towards just mental health support. And their coffee is amazing. We drink it on Saturday mornings. If you're new, or if you've been watching Bears Film, on Saturdays we drink Even Coffee. So shout out to them. Single serve pods, so it's super, super easy, convenient, tastes great. And again, one of my favorite Chicago-based partnerships we've done. So check them out. If you have any questions, let us know, and then use code BFR for $5 off. Again, Even Coffee. Fick, I know I talk about Even Coffee a lot. Any thoughts on it before we hop into the show?
It's good. I inject it into my veins every Saturday morning, so it tells you how much I enjoy it. I need my boost in the mornings, especially like getting mentally prepared for the game. So I love it. It's good. I
love coffee too. So if you like coffee, and you're a savant, or if you just want to try something new, check it out. Chicago-based coffee, and again, great cause. So
great cause.
I think that is all the things we kind of want to get to. Now it's about breaking down the Bears versus Packers week. Is this 16? Yeah, week
16. Yep, week 16. So
I always get confused. I know we get the bye, so it's like week 16. I know there's 17 games, but there's a week.
They keep adding weeks. They keep adding weeks too. So what? In the past 2 years, they've added 2 more weeks. Is that right?
Yeah.
So, and they're looking to add
week 20.
Yeah, they're looking to add another one, which is
2 buys.
They got to throw 2 buys in there. So I'm sure that'll get discussed in their next player, whatever their CPA, whatever they do. So, all right, let's get to the injury report to start it off. Let's start here.
Hey, real quick though.
Yes.
Thomas Whitty, do they sell whole beans coffee? Yes, they do.
Yes,
check out their website. Very, very
link
good.
In the description.
Yep, link in the description. If you guys have any questions, DM us. We'll answer them. And let's get to the injury report. This is critical.
This is definitely critical. Very critical.
DeAndre Swift, what do you got for me, sir?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna need you because the injury report shows we were missing some big guys here. So as everybody knows, this is not new news to anyone, but Luther Burden and Odunze are both out, and that sucks. But it is what it is. Amin Ogbin. Oh my gosh, I always mess it up. Amin Ogbong.
Amen.
Is out. Thank you. He is out, and he's kind of been in and out like all season, which is interesting. I know he's just a special teams player, but that's interesting how he keeps getting injured. Joe Chiron Shoyinka, who we traded for, he's questionable. I'm sure he'll play. Big one here, DeAndre Swift, questionable. Tremaine Edmonds, questionable, even though he did get elevated from the IR. I did see reports out there. I think Fowler from ESPN said that he's expected to play, so that's good. Cole Kmet, I think it was some reporter asked him if he's playing, and he basically said yes, so I expect him to play as well. Tyson's back from an illness. Andrew Billings had an illness. He's fine, and then Travis Homer's back as well. But obviously the big one here, Dave, as you know, as I know, Rome Odunze and Luther Burden. That's going to be interesting. I would say though, if this was a team led by a different head coach, I'd be like, oh, we're absolutely screwed. But since our strength is the running game, and I trust Ben Johnson to scheme people open, I don't feel. Oh, I just realized you're frozen. Nice. Let me remove you here and add you there. There we go. Okay. No idea.
Throw me on
I
the
was like,
injury report right
I was
now.
like, I was like, Dave's locked in, but then I realized you weren't blinking. And I'm like, okay, that's probably not. That's probably not right. What I was saying though, as you and I know, Rome and Luther are out, and if this was a team that was coached by a different head coach, I'd be a little bit more concerned than what I am. I trust Ben Johnson as a scheme and a play caller to get the right guys open. And let's be real. Are those big losses? Absolutely. Is that the biggest strength of our team? No, it is not. The man you mentioned, DeAndre Swift, Kyle Monangai, and our whole offensive line is healthy. So I'm hoping that gives us a best shot to do what we need to do. So, but again, not great. You'd want him for Packers week, but injuries are injuries. You can't control it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, you play. It's all about when you play people, right? At the end of the day, both teams are dealing with injuries. I don't want to hear an excuse. The thing that really hurts me is I love watching Luther Burden play these last few weeks. And I felt like he's really coming like into his own, like it felt like the game was slowing down. He was just becoming a serious problem. And so the fact that we don't get to see that against the Packers, it kind of stinks, but you would love to see he should be back. He was day to day. So I would be shocked if he's not back against the 49ers. And then Rome, I don't know what that looks like. They haven't thrown him an IR, so he's likely going to hopefully come back in the next two games, maybe the final season finale. And that's where, I mean, if you win these next two, you might not be playing for anything against the Lions. And so maybe just rest everybody. I don't know. We'll get to that if we need to. So hate seeing Luther. DeAndre Swift is the biggest one for me. I don't see a way that this game, I love Kyle Monangai, but Swift has been running rampant. He's been awesome. Yeah. Last week against Cleveland, breaking tackles, one of the better games, outside maybe the Eagles, but he was great. He was great. And so that one's tough. I am curious. Tremaine Edmonds, they activated him off IR yesterday. What does that look like? He's probably gonna be on a snap count. That's how they've been doing it with JJ
for sure
and everybody. So excuse me, but the Bears look really good. The Packers we're gonna get to. This is the one where it's like, who the hell's gonna play? Because like if the people who are questionable don't play, good Lord, I think this is really favorable for Chicago. You still got to play the game. But
we'll have to see. I think for the Bears, now again, I haven't been following the Packers and how their trends of their injuries, but I will say for the Bears, if it's been listed as questionable and it wasn't an injury that they were testing out again, they've played. And why I say that is like, Rome was questionable. They were going to test it out to see, and he got re-aggravated. But if they were just kind of questionable and it wasn't a test, they've played. So it will be interesting. I'm hoping all the questionables on our side will play. So like I'm saying that to preface to DeAndre Swift comment, I think that he's most likely going to play. The only one which I think is actual questionable and a true question mark is Tremaine Edmonds, just because he came off of the IR, right? So we'll have to see there. Question for you, though, before we move into the Packers breakdown. There's been a lot of discussion about Rome Odunze and Luther Burden, almost like in a comparison. And I wanted to get your thoughts on this because, remember, the NFL is what have you done for me recently? And I think the fans are like that as well. I'm not even blaming it. Sometimes I'm like that. It's just human nature. But you remember the first 4, 5, 6 weeks, Rome Odunze, wide receiver 1. That's the dude leading the league in the, touchdowns.
Yeah.
Looking great. Had some really, really good games. Now, it doesn't mean there weren't some flaws. He had some drops here and there, whatever. But then gets injured or at least has his foot stubbed. Numbers start to decline a little bit. Then it comes out. It's like, oh, yeah, this has kind of been an injury for a little bit. We got to sit him down. He wants to play, but we have to sit him down. So he hasn't played. Luther, first half of the season, don't really see much from him, right? Not in many times.
Yeah, but he was learning the offense.
For sure. But it's like Luther's like whatever. People are like, you should be playing, blah, 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 blah. Then he starts to break out, which is good. I love this. These are great problems to have. But now it's like, well, Luther, like Rome's not that guy anymore, and Luther is. And I'm like, whoa, I think we have two really solid weapons here. I just think it's one man's injured, so we're not getting to see what we saw. And we saw how he looks when he was healthy earlier in the year. I know where you're kind of going to be on this, but I just want to kind of have a discussion about it. What's your thoughts on like Rome Odunze versus Luther Burden?
Two different guys. I think Rome is great. It's a great problem to have when you have these type of talents and you're debating which one's better. I think Luther, his ceiling, he's just more explosive. I truly believe that. Rome is not as fast, not as twitchy. His hands, what's crazy in college is his jump ball, his contested catch percentage was so high, and sometimes we're not seeing that in the league. And so, especially this season where he's had some drops, he's had, I think, 2 drops this season too. But I think there's just an explosive factor that Luther brings where I think a defense, it scares you. It truly does. And he's just a violent runner when he has the ball. So after he catches it, it's pretty nuts what he can do. And he can take it to the house. Rome, I love him. I think both those guys have wide receiver 1 like tendencies, which is really, really, really great. But I would say Luther has like that George Pickens-esque where it's like his mentality is seriously like, I'm going to kill you. Like I'm gonna make you pay. And we saw that when one of my favorite quotes is like in the preseason, he's like, you give me space, I'm gonna be there's gonna be a problem. It's like that type of mentality he has. Is Rome's a little bit more like clean cut. He's the one that gets like, the ads, like the commercials, like with, like Old Spice or something like that. He's just, his mentality is a little bit lighter. But I think he can still make big plays. But that's why, for me, I'm not going to pick who's better right now because they're 2 different types of receivers, kind of like a possession for Rome, possession catch guy. And then Luther, like I said, is explosive. But you need both. You want both of these guys.
Oh, for sure.
Along with your tight ends. Like, there's a reason why we drafted both of them. Well, we want these type of weapons. They're 2 different, Ben Johnson likes having that type of variety in his offense.
For sure. So, it's like what carpenter wouldn't want all the tools in his toolbox, right?
If I had to guess who is going to be better, I'm going to say Luther. I'll stand on it.
No, I think Luther could end up being that wide receiver where a lot of his points and yards, like his touchdowns, are big plays. I think Rome, like, who am I going to on third down? Rome is at least right now, and what Rome has been in college is his route tree is way more expanded than Luther. He's great too. Look, I'm not saying that.
Down. No, I know.
I'm not saying that either. Look, Colston's been fantastic. He only has 1 drop this year, and it was last week. Like, he's been fantastic, and he leads in yards per route run in the slot for all rookie tight ends since like Tony Gonzalez. So yeah, that's a whole different discussion. But I was just saying, I think there's been the narrative around Rome has been like, he kind of sucks now. Not like sucks, but he hasn't lived up to that. I'm like, the dog's injured. Let's be real. By week 6, he was projected to have 1,200 receiving yards and like 10 touchdowns. So I don't think we got the full picture of Rome. And I just hate how the narrative switches so quickly. Like, we can say Luther looks fantastic right now, and he does. I'm excited to see him play, but it doesn't mean that the other guy isn't good as well. So that's kind of why I would do the discussion, because I think these can be, like you said, having this many weapons is going to be fantastic for this Ben Johnson offense, and I think Ben Johnson's going to find a way to scheme all these guys open. But
so
just thought I'd mention that.
We got. Let me pull this back the curtain because I want to bring up Luther. I want to look at the stats side by side. Just for 2025. Again, he started slower, but Luther has played in 13 games, Rome in 12. Luther has,
you want to share 36.
Oh, yeah, that's actually a good idea.
It should probably be easier.
Thank you, Fick.
No, no problem. So I'm gonna forget half of the stuff you're saying. Let's be real. So
okay. So let's just take a look. I think it's actually a little bit, it's rather interesting. So, and this is really, Luther's really starting to come on in the last probably 4 games. He's had some big ones, obviously, but right here, can people see that? Is that enough?
I think so. I think that's big enough.
Here, we'll make it a little bit bigger.
That works. Yeah.
All right, guys. So we got Luther Bird and Rome Odunze head-to-head this year, 12 games. Rome has 44 receptions to Luther's 36. Receiving yards, 661 to 479. And Rome really had a lot of these in the first 7-8 games. If you remember, like, he was at around 500 through the first 7 games or something like that.
Yeah, he had 5 touchdowns at that point too.
He had 5 touchdowns. This is the big difference here. 1.6 for touchdown ratio. Yards per reception, 15 for Rome, 13.3. Both of them, Rush attempts 5, rushing yards. We see all that. Kick return yards, 223 for Luther. So, I mean, you see it's coming along slowly for Luther, and that's why I thought this would have been another opportunity if Rome was out and Luther could give it a go. Mm-hmm. It would have been like, I think we would have seen another he was on pace for going for over 100 yards last week, and he got hurt in the third, And he had a whole nother quarter and a half, I believe, where he could have probably picked up, like I said, he probably was near an 150. Like it was going to be that type of game for him because he was unstoppable. And him and Caleb, that connection was really starting to ramp up. So would have loved to see what he could do this week against the Packers again, where he had a really good game last time they played in Lambeau. So I'll leave it at that, Fick. What are your thoughts there?
No, I think that's a good comparison to see. It does give a lot of, context to the situation. And there's actually a comment here, which I thought was good. This is from Gage, our Hall of Fame Patreon member. Shout out Gage. He said, I'd rather have too many mouths to feed than a number one whose opposing team can just cover and basically take away the passing game. And I think that's kind of true. My hot take was going to be, if you're telling me we had one wide receiver that had 1,400 yards, and then another wide receiver that had 700, which is 2,200 yards. Mm-hmm. I think I would rather have those 2,200 yards split evenly between 3 wide receivers, right? So 750 across the board. Not that the numbers matter, but basically is saying good luck. You can't really, if you decide to put your focus on wide receiver 1, well, we have 2 and 3. And if you go 3, we got 2 and 1, vice versa. All of that. Basically what Gage is saying, it's great to have that many options because it's harder for a defense to shut down half of the field. To say, you know what, we're going to put our focus. For example, you talk about George Pickens, that Cowboys game where he got that Thursday primetime game where people were on him for saying, oh, he's not hustling, things like that. You know why that was? Every play, they decided, guess what? CeeDee Lamb's out. We're going to double team George Pickens. You can't do that on the Bears because guess what? You still have to cover Cole Kmet. You still have to cover Colston Loveland, and you still have DJ Moore this game. So to say all in all, I feel like we're set up in a way that we have drafted well to where we have enough weapons that we can find a way to move the ball down the field. So anyways, I know we were supposed to go into the Packers injury report, but I saw that was a lot of talk on Twitter, so I thought it'd be a good discussion.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. Let's get to the game though. Always love.
Yeah, let's run through this Packers injury report real quick. Holy cow, this list is so long. Okay, big ones here that you need to call out is Josh Jacobs is questionable with that knee and ankle. You have Marshawn Lloyd, who's the backup running back, who's out. And he was out our last matchup. So if Josh Jacobs is out, they're going to the running back 3. Zach Tom, that's a big one. Their tackle is questionable. I heard a Packers reporter saying he thinks he will not play. So I'm going to trust him on that. Christian Watson had that, sternum injury last week where he got nailed in the chest. So he's questionable. That'll be interesting to see if he plays. And then you have Evan Williams. So this is actually a big one that not a lot of people are talking about. This is their starting safety. Now everyone knows, oh my gosh, can't remember the other starting safety that was a Pro Bowler last year that people love that we tried to get that came from the Giants. Can't remember his name, but people are sleeping on Evan Williams, who actually leads their team in interceptions. And right now he is listed as questionable. And I also saw, I think from that same Packers reporter, he expects that both him and Zach Tom will be out. And then obviously we know of the people that are on IR that were already on IR when we played them, Micah Parsons. That's a big one. Everyone knows about that. But also they don't have Tucker Kraft. And they lost that defensive tackle, which I cannot remember off the top of my head. So sorry about that. But those are the big ones. So,
who did you say the Packers reporter said they think they're out?
I can't remember who it was. I saw it on Twitter. Mm-hmm. It was on their ESPN Packers radio show. And he basically said, I would be shocked if they play. Now, again, that's the only report I've seen. Who knows? But
we're just going to have to wait and see. This is such a long list. My goodness. And for some reason, when it comes to this, I just feel like more than half, 3/4 of these guys are going to play. That just frustrates me because I'm not going to get hyped about injuries, but it's I wouldn't mind them missing a player or two because Micah's hurt, but we're missing Rome and Luther. So can we get a little bit of break there? Those are 2 big pieces in my opinion.
If I was a betting man, I would bet that Zach Tom and Evan Williams. Those are the only 2 on the questionable where I feel like they probably will not play. I think Christian Watson will give it a go.
What about Josh Jacobs?
I think he'll give it a go as well.
Yeah.
I think
either way, we'll see what everything looks. Looks like Swift is expected to play. Love that from Jeremy Fowler.
That just came out?
Yeah, I just saw you comment on YouTube. So.
Yeah, thank you, Pravion. So that is great to see. Oh, and thank you here, Justin. Xavier McKinney. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Their star safety. Yeah. Xavier McKinney, I was trying to think of, but he will be playing. But Evan Williams may not. So we'll see we'll have to wait and see. All right, we're about to go into the actual breakdown of the game. Before we do that, we're going to get to our first ad read here. First off, thank you for watching the BFR Podcast, the #1 show for the fans by the fans. If this is your first time here, please like and subscribe, as it just helps our show grow and helps the algorithm get this show out to other awesome, amazing Bear fans like y'all as we're trying to grow this community. If this is your first time, also leave a hashtag New Face Gang in the chat. That's hashtag New Face Gang in the chat, and we'll give you a shout out before the end of the show. And if this is not your first time, this is your second time, you watched over 100 episodes or anything in between, then you are a true OG, and we want to show you some love as well. So please leave a hashtag OG in the chat, and we'll make sure to give you a shout out before the end of the show. Thank y'all for all the support for the #1 show for the fans by the fans, the BFR Podcast. Now let's get back to the show.
Yeah, support's been unreal, guys.
Absolutely.
Unreal.
It's been fantastic. Make sure to give, I know there's already some in the chat. Make sure OG's, New Face Gang, all of that. We'll give you
another thing. I think something we've never done before. We hit over 1 million views in the month of in the last month. So over the last 28 days, 1.2 million views on the channel. So awesome stuff. Appreciate the support. It's always more fun too when we get more people, more Bears fans, really just to talk football with on these morning pods, on the instant reactions and everything like that. So great stuff.
Love it. Yeah, thank you guys for the support. We really do. It would mean nothing without y'all. Again, this is the Bears Film Room Podcast, #1 show for the fans by the fans, and without y'all fans like us, we wouldn't be able to do anything here. So we really do appreciate it. And we also appreciate wonderful donations as well from Daniel Jones, our Hall of Fame Grizzly member across the pond. Said, well, first off, 9 pounds or 10 pounds. I don't know what that is in USD, but if someone can figure it out, I appreciate it. But 9 pounds here from Sweetness 34, a.k.a. Daniel Jones, said, game day and I feel sick, man. Let's run the shit out of the ball. Predicting a huge game for Loveland. Come on, the Bears. You owe me this win. Bear down and F the Packers. Smash that like button. Love BFR. Thank you, Danny Jones, for agreeing with all of that. That is fantastic. Yes, FTP. Let us know in the chat as well. FTP in the chat. You know what it's all about. It is Packers week. Before we move on, though, can anyone confirm this? Anthony on YouTube said no. They listed Jacobs as doubtful now. If anyone could find that and confirm that, that would be great, because that's would be the biggest news of today, no question. So let's look through here real quick. Oh, yeah, there's another one here. Justin again. Josh Jacobs is doubtful now. Okay. Another one. Anthony again. Justin said Jacobs doubtful and likely to play. Okay. Wow. I would love – I know, Dave, you're going to be looking for it.
I'm looking at it. It says Packers star running back is considered a true game-time decision tonight against the Packers. The local beat reporters believe he's more doubtful than questionable at this point.
Okay.
I'm not seeing anything like that's from an account. I don't know who this is, but the Goal Line Grind. And he doesn't credit anybody, just
that doesn't
beat reporters. This is Jesse Moore, the sports medicine physician. He goes, despite being limited all week, it seems like he's trending towards playing. We saw multiple times. And then Josh Jacobs tweeted, though. He tweeted last night, and he goes, he gave like the, okay. Well, he gave the little emoji where it's like blowing smoke, where it's like he's ready, like hyped up, I guess. But then he quote tweeted it because people thought he was playing. They're like, oh, let's go. And then he quote tweeted and said, roll Tide. So,
because the game.
So I don't know if they don't have Josh Jacobs. Wow.
That's a big one. that's a big one.
Throwing the shit out of the ball possibly. And I don't like Christian Watson, man, against man coverage. But I believe Dennis Allen, you think they would be ready for, but then also Matt LaFleur is probably going to be ready for what Dennis is going to. It's just going to be a matchup, man. It's chess.
You play a team.
Like you say, football is chess, man. It's beautiful.
It is. It is. A lot of yeah, I saw that. Looks like a lot of it's leaning doubtful. So we'll see. Game time decision, doubtful, but I think it's more up in the air than what I expected coming into this pod. So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Fick, real quick. I know we're about to keep going here. We lose this game. How disappointed are you going to be? Well, actually, let me give you scenarios. We lose this game by like another close matchup.
Yep.
Scale 1 to 10.
I think I'm going to go 8.
Okay.
I'm going to go 8 because thinking big picture. I'm thinking this is what I have to do to cope. Let me preface with that. This is what I would do to cope if we lose today. I would be thinking this season's been fantastic. We played the Packers close twice, and the Packers, for a lot of people, I know they have injuries, are viewed as a Super Bowl contender. So that's positive big picture, okay? Next thing is you still have 2 more games. So if you find a way, again, I said you need 1 more win, and you beat San Francisco the following week, like I'm disappointed, but big picture is you got into the playoffs, and guess who you'll probably have to play? The Packers, right? So can the Packers beat you 3 times? Probably not. So big picture, I'm saying 8. If it's in the game, though, like literally when we get on the post game, I'm going to be at a 10. I'm pissed. Come on. You're losing against the Packers 0-2 in a game where you need to win at home. But I think that's my coping mechanism where it's like, okay, it's not like last year where you lose and you're like, well, our season sucks. I don't feel great about the future. It's a completely different one. So I have a little bit of that copium I can smoke on to, bring me back to reality. But what about you? Where would you be on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, let me unmute. Yeah, make sure I'm not muted. So I have one more scenario for you. What if we get blown out?
Okay. Yeah, that might.
I don't even have to ask you, I guess. That would be,
yeah, that's going to be very bad. I mean, big picture still stays the same, but I think in the moment reality,
the post game pods can be awful.
So let's say I'm a 10 out of 10 if it's a close game, right? 9.5, 10 out of 10, right? If we get blown out, I'm like a 15 because I'm like, you had the opportunity to prove you are a true playoff team, to show that you mean business, and you couldn't even do it in your home turf. Like, what the stakes were, and you all came out flat. I would be severely disappointed in the team. The big picture stays the same, but in the moment is 10 times worse because what do you mean? Blown out? Come on, man. So that means a lot of things had to go
I'm the same way. I think if I lose, Fick, I'm exactly what you said. I'm going to be on 10 no matter what. I think you lose a close game, it's going to suck. You get blown out. I don't know if I'll show up for the pod. I'll be honest. No, I'll be here. But I would need everyone to be in the chat. It would be a therapy session. And it would be a very, very tough one for everyone that's in the chat and for you and I. It would be brutal. So I don't even want to talk about that. I was just curious. But shout out to Ryan Reeves, though. I know he's going to be at the game. He's our Bears pack. We did a Bears Packers giveaway, Fick and I. And that man gets to go. I think he's bringing his dad. So that's really, really cool. But I guess if they lose, it's not on you. It's gonna be on the players.
You're not playing. So. That is definitely not on you. Trust me. If that was the case, there's been many a game
Ficky
to blame for a Bears loss.
That's why we lost so many last year.
Yeah. I go to way too many losses. Not a loss though. We got a win here from Bear Down Ken. Thank you. I know you're OG of the show. $2 super chat says, think this is a big Caleb game, even with injuries. And I totally agree. And we'll get into that as we're taking a little bit longer to get into our post game. But it's Packers week. So there's just so much good stuff to talk about here. And KDJ, I think we talked about this. KDG Tay said ESPN just confirmed that Swift is playing. Yeah, I think we saw that. So cool. Appreciate it. All right, let's actually get to the breakdown here that we have. And let's look at the team overview of this matchup. Closer than what you'd expect. Like, even without injuries, look at this. Like, the Packers are dominant in really 2 areas. Their passing offense, as we know, Jordan Love has been fantastic this year. Probably had his worst game of the season last week with those 2 picks, but he's been pretty solid. I still think under 10 interceptions, and anytime you have a season under 10 interceptions, that's pretty fantastic. So their run defense is top 2. Their passing offense is top 2 as well. Their rushing has gone down. I know it wasn't as good as last year. It's about middle of the pack, and their blocking hasn't been great, and that's because they've dealt with so many injuries. And add to the list another injured offensive lineman, Zach Tom. So you can see that represented here with that one football. Their pass rush has been middle of the pack, but because of, they lost Parsons, went down. But what's an interesting statistic here, Dave? Their pass rush win rate with Micah Parsons is top 5 in the NFL. Without Micah Parsons, it's bottom 5 in the NFL. Literally, he is that much of a amplifier, which makes sense. It's Micah Parsons. That's a huge loss. They're probably going to have to blitz a lot more than what they have to, and hopefully Caleb can dice that up. Looking on our side, really not much has changed. Our pass defense got a little bit better with Jalen Johnson coming back, but our offense has been 3-4-3 for like the past 5 games. We kind of are who we are, and our defense has been pretty much the same. We gained 2 footballs this week, went from 13 to 15. So overall, we've played a little bit better in the past 2 to 3 games, which is great to see. But anytime you see a football matchup 17 to 15, like a difference of 2 footballs, these are evenly favored teams. And Vegas, which we'll get to in a second, also says that this is a coin flip game, so anyone can win this one. And, you know, that's what makes it most exciting, because I don't know about you, Dave. I haven't been, not saying like I'm super confident, but I haven't been this confident that the Bears can actually have a fighting chance, right?
Yeah.
Even last year, I didn't expect him to beat the Packers. That was a surprise. This year, I'm like, no, you literally can go in there and do that. And I can't remember the last time I felt that way. Even 2018, when they sealed it against Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers was balling out that year. And I'm like, dude, it doesn't mean you can take down the king when he's obviously dethroned us millions and millions.
I think the difference too is Ben is legit. Not that
That's
Nagy
true.
he was fun. He had a lot of, it was like a smoke and mirrors though in 2018 with him, and that defense really was the catalyst. But with this one with Ben, and I true, there's a comment here, you know, Caleb Williams will have a superstar breakout game. I believe that. Like, there's a big possibility here that we come out of this game and Caleb, he's really, since the second half of the Packers, where he threw that, you know, interception to ultimately end the game. Since then, I mean, he then played another great 4 quarters against Cleveland. Could he be playing his best football right now in December? Could it finally be like really clicking for him and Ben in regards to this offense? So if he goes out there and puts up the best game of his career and season and beats the bad, I mean, that's where the level of this team, the ceiling of this team is really truly on Caleb, because the run game is going to be great. But if you factor in the growth from Caleb and it accelerates over these next 3-4 weeks, where you get into the playoffs and he's playing his best football of his career,
that's what you need.
And then you get Rome back, Luther back, like it could be a very, very dangerous and a tough team to really plan for, because it is a run first identity, but then it sets up to play action. And then if Caleb is continuously to get better, accurate, and it all starts today, where he could have that, you know, welcome, you know, or superstar status, where he could really be like inching closer and closer to that tier. And I think we've seen a lot of growth just in the last 6 quarters of football from him. So it's a great opportunity, Fick. I feel I am confident, but again, it's just hard not to be a little bit nervous about this one, because it's a playoff game. I keep on saying that, but like,
sure,
this one right here, the next
games.
Possibly, if you win the next 2,
Possibly.
that Lions game will not be. It won't be.
You're
and
right.
The Bears could clinch. The Bears could clinch the a playoff spot if they win
this week
today,
they win,
and then
Detroit
the Lions
loses.
lose.
Yeah.
So then it's like you're either playing for the division at that point, which you would obviously still want to get that,
Of course.
or you get to sit some guys and get really, really healthy into hopefully your first home playoff game in forever. I think the Philly game was in 2018. We were playing in Philly, right?
No, we're playing at home because Staley the Bear was.
We
there.
won the division. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because
awesome stuff.
That
yeah. Bears Packers injury report. We'll see what happens. Either way, you got to go play these games. We've seen it where we've had the injury advantage before against the Packers, and we still couldn't do anything.
You got to show up. You got to show up. Next man up mentality.
Yeah.
So let's get to the Vegas here. Let's just see. We can run through this real quick. But Vegas basically, I mean, split decision, spread -1.5. That's not a lot, right? You get 3 basically for being a home team. So they view this as a 48-52 split. Over under 8 more points. So they're expecting a lot of scoring, which makes sense. Last week it was 38.5. Here we're 46.5. And money line, Chicago -125. And now again, we're not betting on these games. We don't bet on the Bears. That gives us a heart attack and possibly lose money. But if you had to choose one of these, which one are you going with, Dave?
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really feel great about it either.
Maybe money line, just because whatever, but it's not much. I don't know.
Yeah.
Stay away. I don't know how the fact that it's this close though, even with all these injuries, I think it'll be different if say Josh Jacobs doesn't play.
For sure.
I think it will change a little bit. Bears money line though was probably where I'd go.
Yeah,
I feel like they can win. I don't know the over and under. I don't know if it's going to be, I don't know if this is going to be a 33-30 type game, or it could be a very well a 17-14 Bears. It could be ugly.
For sure.
So I don't know. Stay away from this one if you can. But interesting stuff from Vegas. So
yeah, definitely interesting stuff. Let's go into the key matchups here. Again, I would stay away from that just for your mental health and your financial health as well. But key matchups going into this game. Funny enough, this is even before the reports, but Josh Jacobs versus this Bears run D. Josh Jacobs has had a pretty good season, not as great as last year, but he played well against us in the first matchup. We've got to figure out a way to stop the run. That's the weakest part of our defense, in my opinion, is the run defense, and we've got to figure out a way to stop Josh Jacobs. If he doesn't play, that's a different story, but if we can make Jordan Love have to pass the ball 40 to 50 times, he's going to make a mistake. There's going to be some takeaways, especially with this opportunistic defense. So you got to figure out a way to not let him go off.
Okay. We'll see. Josh Jacobs. He hasn't had he's had a weird season, but for my key matchup, it's Bears O-line versus the Packers D-line. Obviously, we know Micah Parsons. They got some guys missing too that I think the Bears O-line, they have just been so great all season, but this is one where I think they could just ice it as far as the best offensive line we've seen probably in 20 years for the Bears. They've already been dominant. So I guess this game wouldn't define it, but they can really put a stamp on this season if they dictate and just absolutely bully a Packers defense that does not have their guy, Micah Parsons. So I feel so confident that they can do it too. This Bears O-line has been so fun to watch. From obviously Drew Dahlman, very, very underrated. You got Joe Thuney, Hall of Famer, right tackle Darnell Wright, Jonah Jackson, one of the best additions. Shout out to Ben Johnson, getting that guy in there. And of course, the left tackle's been fluid. Braxton Jones to start, Theo, and then now Ozzie, who's been playing really, really good. Him and Myles Garrett, a lot of good clips that came out from last week. He's really, he's been growing, right? So we'll see what that looks like. Also, funny fact, on on YouTube Reels or TikTok, Instagram, I called Ozzie Theo. Oh my God. Never will happen again, guys. I'm not saying anybody in our YouTube chat, but people are on me. You cover the Bears, you just called him Theo.
Well, he did play at some point.
It was an accident. I swear to God. Anyways, I should know that too. 75, he's giant, obviously a lot different. So, but all I'm saying is this is a huge, huge opportunity for the Bears offensive line to just, again, dictate the game, which they do best. So I feel very confident that they can do it even at home. And another thing that I wanted to kind of point out, Fick, before we move on, is all the fans attending Saturday's night game will receive the fourth phase towels to wave while creating deafening noise when the Bears are on defense, and be silent when quarterback Caleb Williams and offense are on the field. So I love that they're doing this.
We get a terrible towel. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. I just like that they're doing that. Someone tweeted that to me yesterday. Who was that? I want to give them their credit here.
I think that's
it. Was A on Twitter. DJ46 was his @, and he kind of gave me a heads up on that. And I think that's so cool. It was in the Chicago Bears app if you want to find it. So
yeah, I love that. No, that's great stuff. That's great stuff. I mean, look, when you're winning, you need a winning environment, right? We actually have something to play for. Biggest game of the season. That's why Dave and I, on behalf of BFR, gave away tickets, right? That was the point of this, because we know how big this is. This is a playoff game, and you need a playoff environment. So shout out to the Bears doing the terrible towels, whatever they have to do to make this hype as can be.
The best thing about the Bears being good is that they're good. The worst part is the tickets. Oh my gosh,
cha-ching. So, cha-ching.
It's unbelievable. And I love it. But
to be fair, as a man who's gone when they've sucked a lot, they're also expensive when they suck too. So it's kind of like,
there's a baseline that it stays at, but it's when they're remotely good, it's whoop, and now they're NFC top contender good, and it's just
because it never happens. They got to strike gold when it's high. You know what I mean? I can't even blame them for it. It's this might be the first time in 20 years or second time in 20 years we can actually raise our prices, and people are like, that makes sense. So yeah, I get it, but it should be an exciting environment. If anyone goes to the show as well, I forgot to tell you about this, Dave. Please tag us at BFR on Twitter, on Instagram. If you want to put on your story, you know what I mean? If you just want to post a tweet, I'm going to retweet. I want to share the love. If you're wearing BFR gear, whatever it is, like I said, we want to see y'all at the
If you're at the Bears game, if you're at the Bears Packers, if you don't even have to have BFR gear, just
you don't
tweet
have
us.
to, for sure.
Just tweet us a picture, whether it's you or just the game. We'll retweet it. We love seeing just people out there. It's cold as hell. We'll show you guys some love. Excited to see everyone out there. So stay warm.
On all platforms, tweet us and we'll make sure, or not tweet us on all platforms, mention us on all of them. We'll make sure to share the love. We're really excited to see who's all there and being there for such a pivotal game. Absolutely good stuff. Okay. Speaking of the pivotal game, let's get to the keys of the game and figure out what the Bears need to do in order to win this one, right? Because we've talked about it for so long, how big this moment is. So they need to lock in here. Big one for me, play action deep shots. I expect that we are going to run the ball down the throats and we're going to try to. If Evan Williams is out, their safety, that's a big loss. Not only that, they are like 25th in the NFL and big plays given up. So we need to find a way to establish the run, open up that deep play shot. Hopefully, we can then attack that secondary, because their secondary is not that great, to be honest. Their secondary has been great when they have a good pass rush, but with Parsons out, I think there's an opportunity to do that. Second one here, contain Jordan Love scrambles. He doesn't scramble necessarily a lot, but when he does scramble, he is efficient. We suck at containing the scramble this year. You got to make sure that he doesn't get an easy 7-8 yards on third down to convert drives, because I can see Jordan Love doing that. I think he actually did that twice against us in our first matchup that continued some drives on third down, so you got to figure a way to stop that. And then the final one, which kind of goes to the key matchup, do not let Jacobs get hot. Shut down the run game. Let's make the Packers offense be one-dimensional. I think that will align better with our opportunistic defense, and let's actually give ourselves a shot to get a takeaway on Jordan Love. Now let's get.
I love him. Yeah, mine. Man, sometimes I feel like I just rotate these in, but it's hard to kind of. For me, I want to see the Bears start fast. You're at home, get to a big lead. Who knows what happens at that point, right? You get up 14-0, 14-3. It just allows for some cushion. Packers will play different. Bears will play different. Caleb, he's always confident, but I love when he plays with the lead. And then limit the big plays. So for this one, Jordan Love, they killed us. A touchdown to Christian Watson on a screen, went about 30-something yards. Of course, Bo Melton scored at the half. That's another big play. That was the difference. I mean, that was the difference between really that game. Right. Yeah. It came down to a one score, at the end, and those big plays just killed us. So, and then lastly, make special teams plays. We've seen it a couple times now where the Bears have just, whether it's Duvernay on returns, a good punt last week from Torrey Taylor, and then Josh Blackwell downing it at the 1. Mm-hmm. We need some plays here on special teams. We saw it last year where I forgot who it was. Was it Josh Blackwell? He scored on that punt diversion, the fake, or on the other side, it was very similar to Johnny Knox.
Return. Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's those type of special teams play that I think could either just swing this one or maybe break it wide open. And I wanted to kind of get to playing fast, right? Playing with a lead. So when it comes to Caleb, I wanted to go over when he is up. So when they are ahead, he has, I apologize. Maybe don't get to a lead, right? So when Caleb Williams is playing ahead, he has a 55.6% completion percentage, 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 1,177 yards. This is kind of crazy. Maybe don't play ahead. Maybe just play like close or behind by like a couple score or like a score. But because when he plays from behind, he has a 61.1% completion percentage, which is 124 out of 203, 1,549 yards, 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Wow. He also has 204 yards rushing and 1 touchdown. So when he plays from behind, I guess we all know he's pretty.
I'd rather play with the lead though. I like the.
That's
the
what I'm saying.
Nice.
Yeah.
I agree.
The run game.
The lead.
Yeah.
Let's have a lead.
I agree
for all of the game, and at the end also have that lead when it hits 0-0. That is very important. So
yeah.
Also, I think I was looking at the point differential for teams by quarter, and the Bears are the 3rd most point differential in the first quarter. I think it's like they're positive 44. So the Bears basically, I think it went like they score a lot in the first. The second, they give up a little bit. The third, they score a lot. And then the fourth, they give up a lot. Not like a lot, but enough to make games closer than what they should be.
Right.
So they basically kind of do play with a decent lead and then teams kind of creep in, which happens in the NFL anyways. It's so hard to sustain a lead in the NFL, but I hope that trend continues. Come out hot.
Agreed.
21-0
Agreed.
first half, 21-3 first half. We'll take it. Like, let's make this game over by halftime, so we don't even have to worry about those last 2 quarters. But yeah, those are good stuff, Dave. All right, we're going to get to our second ad read here, and then we're going to finish up the show with obviously our score predictions, our bold takes, which Dave and I are pretty hot on those recently, and then we have our shout-outs like always. So let's go ahead and get to the break here. All right, we're going to get back to the episode real quick, but I had to take a moment to pause and tell you about something awesome that we have cooking up over here at the BFR Podcast, and that is our Patreon membership. You can join our Patreon, the BFR Den, where we have a bunch of great exclusive stuff that happens monthly, like monthly giveaways, private Zoom calls, mailbag episodes, and much, much more to come. I mean, we've got tons of features in there. We've got 2 tiers. We have our top tier, which is $10 a month, our Hall of Fame tier. What comes with that, which is very exclusive, is our private Zoom calls with our members. So every month, you're going to get a private Zoom call with me, Dave, and Jack, and we just get to talk about whatever, shoot the shit, football, life. It's a wonderful time. And then if you want to go to the lower level, we have our Rookie Grizzly tier, which is $3 a month. And what that includes is like the private Discords, the monthly giveaways, the free merch, all the events if we have coming up, things like that, access to exclusive merch that's only for our Patreon members, and any other cool features. You'll get that at the $3 level tier. And then with the $10 level tier, you will get the private Zoom call as well. Now, you can join for free. We do post our monthly calendars in there, so you can kind of see what we have going on each month. And we post our episodes there as well. So if you want to join that ongoing community, which we keep building up, please do so at the BFR Den on Patreon. Also, as well, we give a shout out to all of our Patreon members every single episode that we do. So if you join, we'll make sure to show you some love on every episode as well. So again, you can join the BFR Den on Patreon at the BFR Den on Patreon. And we just love the support. You guys are great. Shout out to all our Patreon members, and let's get back to the show. Absolutely. Really do appreciate all you Patreon members. Again, if you are Patreon, you'll get a shout out at the end of the show. Also, exclusive stuff in our Discord, which you can join for free. Feel free to do that as well, even if you're not a Patreon member. But we really do appreciate all the support from everyone, no matter what you do. Like, just watching the show alone is enough for me. So,
Vic, you gotta get that light.
Yeah, I know,
dude.
bro.
People are hilarious. Aura farming with the light.
I keep getting blinded like every 2 seconds, and it only happens on the Saturday morning pod because there's like the sun hits it just right. So
it's hilarious.
Fun. I'm trying to figure out a way for that, but appreciate that. Okay,
blanket.
Yeah, I know. I might have to. I've done it before, but sometimes it falls and it knocks over shit. Can't be having that happen either. So we'll figure out something here. Appreciate it though. We love the comments. Let's get to our bold takes though, and I got to preface here, Dave. This has been, I think, the first week where we both got the bold takes right. As you know, we started off pretty bad on our bold takes.
Bro,
we
were tweeting each other. We were texting each other like, "Hey, I need one more sack," and you're like, "I need one more." Yeah, it was pretty funny. We both were looking to get quick,
and I was like, then they got back-to-back turnovers. I'm like, I need one more, and they got.
I was rooting for you not to get it. I need to catch up.
No, you do. Anyways. I knew you were, and I was like, that's why I was copying your exact message. Sorry, some internal fun stuff that we had here, some inside jokes. But let's get to the bold takes here. I will say this. We're making a comeback, though. Look at this, Dave. 5-9, looking like the last year Bears. But you got a chance. You got 3 more games. You can get close to 500. I made it to 500. And I will say this, though. 2 of my negative bold takes have been right. So I actually wish I was more on the losing end. So when I'm negative, I'm right. So I'm trying not to have that happen because that's not a great feeling. But let's get to the bold takes from me. Bears rush for 200. Yes, 200 yards. Now, that is bold because they haven't done that in a minute. Their highest, though, have been 2 games they've had of 280, right? And that's remarkable, right? They did that against the Eagles, and I think they did that against someone else. I think Cincinnati maybe is who they did that to, which was a horrible defense. But I'm hoping for 200 yards. If they do that, I think they can win. I'm not sure if they will get that because if your bold take hits, I don't think mine will. So let's take a look at yours.
Yeah. Bold take, Caleb Williams, 300 plus total yards. I think this is just, I'm trying to just speak into existence, but I think there's the Micah Parsons being out. I mean, we'll see. Caleb with time is pretty lethal. And I just believe he's going to have a breakout game. I'll leave it at that.
I'm going to say, I hope your bold take hits more than mine. I think if mine hits, though, they for sure win. I'm not sure if yours hits. They do because they might be playing from behind. But I'm hoping that perfect scenario, they win. Caleb balls out, looks like a superstar.
Yeah.
I'd rather take that than 200 rushing yards because we know this team can run the ball. So
exactly.
I'm actually rooting for you on this one. Okay. Let's get to the score predictions here. Now, this we've been pretty good with. We've been pretty solid. Yes. 8-6, right? You have easily a chance to run the tables here to get to 11-6, and I'm 10-4, exactly matched with the Bears. So let's see what we have, though, for this week. Drum roll, 24-20. I have Chicago winning this one. I think that based off everything we've talked about in the show, the injuries the Packers are dealing with, Caleb coming off one of his best games, I think they have a real shot to win this game. I don't think it'll be a shootout per se, but I think they'll do enough to capitalize. Maybe even a Jordan Love interception because he's had, back-to-back games of interceptions thrown. Not necessarily great. I think they can find a way to steal a win. I don't know if steal is the right word, but actually do what they're expected to do, come in here and win single-handedly. To go to 11-4 and to hold the conference lead. By 2 games, I believe.
Yeah. All
right, let's get to yours.
Hey, I'll take it. 24-23. I mean, this is another close one. I think you could throw some of these injuries out there. I think just the teams are talented enough to overcome them where it's just going to be a dogfight. It's going to be close. We're going to see what happens. I think the Bears do pull this one out, though, and get a win, probably one of the biggest, like I said, since probably in the last 8 years.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a close one either way. Our point differential is 4. You know what I mean? All together. So the Bears always play the Packers tight.
Wait, our point differential for the season?
No. Sorry. I meant from our predictions. I had us winning.
Okay. I was like, no, we're way up now.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, we smoked the Browns. But basically what I'm saying is we think that this game is going to be a touchdown or less either way. So would we want to see a blowout? Absolutely. But I don't think the Bears have done that in such a long time. Even the 2018 win over the Packers, that came down to a game-sealing interception by Bojack, who then got injured on a non-contact injury, which sucked. But every time we play the Packers, if we win, it's close. If we lose, normally it's we got stopped. So I just don't have that type of faith yet to where I think we can demolish them. I have faith we can win, but to actually go out there and just single-handedly put boot to neck, I'm not sure on that just yet. It might be a next season ordeal, but we'll take a win. Either way, 11-4, you do what you need to do. Hopefully the NFC North in a playoff spot. All right, let's get to the Monday headlines here. I think we had some good ones this week. Last week, you had a pretty good one as well, but I got Packers get shredded. How about that? I had to throw the shredded in there for the cheese, but I think we come out with a way on
cheesy Fick.
Yeah, thank you. I like what you did there. But we come out on top here and do what we need to. And to be honest, like I said, if the Packers lose, right, that could really put them in a possibility of not making the playoffs. That's still up in the air. So this game is very, very impactful for both teams, like we've talked about ad nauseum, but just want to iterate there. Okay, let's get to yours here.
Okay. I like this one. This is Game of Thrones-esque. Yep. I hope you get goosebumps reading this one, but the North remembers. And I think it's just I don't know. This one, I kind of like it because I guess every team can I don't know why I'm so zoomed in here. Every team, I guess, feels like they can take the North, or they've had an opportunity where, I guess the Lions for a season or two in the last 5 years, the Packers have obviously dominated the North, but it's the Bears, if you remember, man, they were dominant. This was, a team that has won, I think, the most championships in the NFL.
Oh, yeah,
it dates back a long time ago, but it's sure. I just like that Game of Thrones reference there, and I think this is a big one. So you
also,
win this.
Iceman, I think the Iceman aligns with that. It's cold. Game of Thrones is cold too, right? Whoa,
what? Oh, see, I don't know what's going on, dude.
What is?
It's my MacBook Pro camera.
That is crazy. Sorry, I don't know what that was. That was funny. You're just sitting there nonchalant. That's hilarious. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, we love it. We love it. All right, let's see here what we got next. All right, we're gonna get to our last ad read, and then of course we're gonna close out the show. We got our shout outs. We got to shout our jersey winner. Obviously, we'll shout it again who won the tickets to the game tomorrow. Hope you enjoy that, and a whole bunch of other stuff, and obviously our Patreon members as well. And then we'll go through questions, OGs, like we typically do. But again, we appreciate y'all for being here, supporting Bears Film Room Podcast, the #1 show for the fans, by the fans. We really do appreciate all the support.
All right, before we close out the show, I got to tell you about some awesome stuff that we have cooked up on the BFRstore.com.
As you can see here, we have hats, hoodies, mugs, stickers, a whole bunch of fire stuff, and we're always working on new creative designs. Maybe jerseys coming. Yeah, who knows? But you can check it all out at thebfrstore.com. All the proceeds from the merch store just goes back right into the show. And plus, we want to give you fire stuff because we want to look fly all the time. And we want y'all to look fly as well. So if you want to support the BFR show, go to thebfrstore.com. We appreciate all the love and support. Now let's get back to the show. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Couldn't have said it better myself. We really do appreciate all the support, whether it is Patreon, Discord, liking and subscribe. Please do that.
Or call you Mr. Cheese, all right?
Yeah. All the just in time for Packers Week. Love it. Staying on theme. Make sure to all the support from those just go right back into the show. So we just try to make a better show, bring you more content, all of that stuff. So it really goes back to you. We really do appreciate it. Okay, let's get to our shout outs here. I know we have a decent amount in here. Let's see what we have from our OGs. Here we go. So we got Low Mid on YouTube here. Let's go, boys. No worries. We got this. It's Chris from the voicemail. Thank you, Chris, with the hashtag OG. Appreciate that. We got Thomas Whitty, Patreon member as well. A Grizzly, hashtag OG, bear down, FGB. Let's get that dub today. Love that. Then we have Gage as well. We should give a shout out earlier, but our Patreon member, Hall of Fame Grizzly member, hashtag OG. Appreciate you, Dave and Ficky. Needed this hype booster episode. Appreciate that. We appreciate you, Gage. That's what we're here for. Isaac on YouTube as well with the hashtag OG. Appreciate it, Isaac. We got Caleb, who's also a rookie Grizzly on the Patreon as well with the hashtag OG. Appreciate you, Caleb. We got Cheese and the Bear Pod with the hashtag OG. Appreciate that. Make sure to check out their episode for this week. I'm sure it's good because it's got Packers fans on there. And then we have Eater Scott as well on YouTube with the hashtag OG. Let's get it done. Okay. Awesome. Really do appreciate all that. We do have some questions. We're going to speed run these real quick. From Gage here, this was the top topic for the week. I'm sure I know how you feel, Dave. I'll let you answer these quick. What did you guys think of Warren's letter to the Bears fans? I kind of thought it was badly timed right before this epic game. Go.
I'll deal with the stadium in the offseason. I'll talk about it then. We're not getting, nothing's getting, no shovel in the ground, nothing like that. I don't care right now. It's too big of a season, too big of a game. I get the leverage. I'll say that. And I'll just leave it at that. 100%. There's leverage to it. Biggest game of the year, national stage. I get it.
It's all leverage.
Indiana Bears kind of goes crazy, but
Indiana Bears is wild.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely leverage play. We'll leave it at that. Okay, and then another one from Gage here. Do you think Jade has a chance to go off tonight? Jade Walker.
They kept him for a reason. I think he gets maybe a couple targets. We'll see what he does with those.
Yeah.
The Packers won't be expecting that. I guarantee that much.
Yeah, definitely not.
And I would love to see a score because his celebration at Soldier Field against Green Bay.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Will be nuts, dude. It'd be iconic. I mean, that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Absolutely. We kind of talked about this one here, but appreciate the comment. RM Brad too said late to the stream, but what are your odds Jacobs and Watson plays? I would say the odds are higher for Watson playing. I'm just throwing out a number. I'll say like 80%. And for Jacobs, it might be a 50-50. So I'll just probably leave it at that. We don't know, but based off the reports, that's where it is leaning. And so Thomas, I had to save this one because it was funny because this was Dave's bold prediction. But does Caleb throw for over 300 yards today? I would love it.
That wasn't Dave's prediction. It was total
yards. You're right. Well, that would do it. That would do it. But I think there's rushing. I don't know if he throws for 300. If he throws for over 300, though, we win. There's no question.
We probably win, but not more importantly, it's just another step to get into 4K. He gets he gets like 333 or something like that. You have a real opportunity. Like, do you even play him if you need to on that final game if he has a chance for that record? I don't know.
We'll
get there, I guess. We'll see.
Let's say this: his season high so far is 298, and to be fair, hitting 300 yards in the NFL in today's modern age is not an easy task with how the defenses are. There's not that many games where quarterbacks have 300 yards passing, even the really good ones. So,
hey, shout out to Caleb though, heading to work, bear down. I want you to enjoy your work. Hopefully you're off before the game starts. Either way, you have a good day too, man.
Appreciate that. Yeah, thank you for throwing that out there. And then we have one final question here from Ivan. If the Bears win tonight, does Ben Johnson lock up Coach of the Year? It's tough. It matters what the Patriots do. It's basically between Vrabel and Ben Johnson. We'll see.
I'm not a big fan of the Coach of the Year. Like, at the end of the day, we know what he's done. We know what he's done. No, I don't even believe in this suspicious or like that superstitions.
Yeah.
He's done what he's done, and it's more impressive that he's done it in Chicago. I don't care what New England's doing. At the end of the day, Ben is legit. I think he's better than Vrabel too. This is his first year. Vrabel's been coach. He's been a coach before. Like, come on, this is expected. His floor is just a lot. It was a lot higher. Ben, he came in with expectation. He's proven that he's an elite. He's an elite offensive coach. Where I just think that it's like a McVay. Like, there's not many of these guys around that come around often. And Vrabel, like I said, he is. We know what we expected from him, and we expected him to kind of change that culture. Yeah. Ben, we knew there was a possibility. There's still some doubts here, but at the end of the day, Ben is a rarity. And Vrabel's great. I love what he does, but I would take Ben, and I think the Patriots would take Ben 10 times out of 10 because he has the ability to just like the offensive side with him and May would have been. And I think the Patriots obviously wanted Ben. Yeah. So for me, Ben is just it's very rare to see a coach come along like this, and he's going to be a problem for a very long time, I believe. So
hopefully,
again, not knocking him. It's more of that Ben is he's just he's just different breed. You don't have to worry about an offensive coordinator, right, being poached or anything like that because Ben, he is the offense. He is the genius behind the run game and everything like that. Vrabel,
it's interesting about that. I think it's interesting in the Patriots as well because they have a very similar situation like we do with Dennis Allen, where Josh McDaniels obviously is a great offensive coordinator. He's had 2 head coaching jobs and he's gotten fired from both. So I don't think he's going anywhere either. So I think that Vrabel will work because he has Josh McDaniels always with them. And I'm hoping we're getting the same thing with Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen, and they're always tied together. Those failed head coaches that are great offensive minds are great on their side of the ball. Yeah. No one wants to hire him as a head coach again, but you can be a great coordinator. So hopefully it works out for both. But yeah, I agree with everything you said.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Year by year, cool. The NFL's year by year. Things change quick. We did have a final OG here from Ken. I wanted to make sure we got that, but #OG. All right. Appreciate that. Let's get to our final shout outs here like we always do. Want to give love first to our Discord winner, who's also a Patreon member as well, Phil the Fourth. Vanderhaden with his poems. Appreciate it. You won the Discord winner of the week, so congratulations there. You won your gift card to the BFRstore.com. And if you want to be like Phil and win free money to our store, you can join our Discord. Link in the description. It's free to join. We do basically score predictions every week for free. You just go in there and put your predictions, and the closest one wins free money. It's pretty easy, so it's fun to do. Also, we give a shout to who won the game tickets, even though I can't spell, so that's spelled wrong. But game tickets giveaway, we got to give a shout to Ryan Reeves here. Missing an E.
Just noticed that.
Yeah. We give a shout out to Ryan Reeves, who also joined our Patreon this week. We did not plan it that way, but that is awesome. So shout out to
That's what I was excited about. I was like,
yeah, awesome. We love that. You get to bring your dad. That's such a good time. And then not only that, Dave, I didn't tell you about this one, but the jersey giveaway I did was also a Patreon member. This normally never happens.
I thought it was Ryan.
Yeah. Shout out to Jerome.
I thought Ryan won again on the jersey giveaway. I was like, no way. Okay. That's cool.
Jerome from Darien, you know that voicemail. He is a Patreon member as well.
That's
awesome.
Awesome.
He won the jersey for this week. And again, me and Dave do jersey giveaways all the time. So follow us and the BFR pod. You see our socials down here. BFR pod is at BFR_pod on all socials. Pretty easy to find. And we just love giving away free shit to y'all. Because again, Bears Film Room, #1 show for the fans, by the fans. We make sure we give love and value to y'all because Dave and I are fans like y'all. We go through the ups and the downs. And the show is about bringing the community of great fans together and building up this Bear Nation. So we really do appreciate all the love and support from the Bears Film Room family. That really does go a long way. Like we said, the show would be nothing without y'all. But we definitely got to give special thanks to our Grizzly members as well, who are part of the BFR Den, which is our Patreon group. So shout out to the Hall of Fame Grizzlies, Michael from across the pond, Gage who's in the chat, Phil who just won, Michael Berry as well. We got Angie Wright, we got Ryan, enjoy the game. Daniel Jones, thank you for the super. Thomas Whitty, who was in the chat. Appreciate you, Thomas. Tito, Dave, and then Jerome, who also won as well. So shout out to all of you Hall of Fame Grizzly members. We really do appreciate the love and support. And then we're not going to forget about you rookie Grizzlies either. We got to give a shout out to Alex, Chris, Ethan, Caleb, who's in the chat, Jason, and Megan. Really do appreciate all of you Patreon members. Now, if you want to be dope like them, you can just join the Patreon, like we've mentioned a million times, in the link in the description. Discord's in there as well. and any other way you want to show love and support, we really do appreciate. So thank you all for joining in on this pregame Bears Film Room podcast, and hopefully following us after the Bears win in the podcast later tonight. So really
we'll be going live in about 12 hours after the Bears Packers game. So again, if you're listening here first time, however many times, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed. And again, the support's been unreal. And we'll be back here, like I said, in about 12, 13 hours, and hopefully with a monumental Bears win against the Green Bay Packers. So Fick, anything else?
I don't know. I feel like I wasn't nervous, but now with that last statement, I'm like, okay, maybe the nerves got up a little bit. But no, we're gonna be good. I'm excited. So should be fun.
All right. Well, hey, we'll see you here, guys, soon. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and bear down.
Peace.